Hey everybody!
What's up?
Well, Sean, we just reacted to a Godzilla trailer, so
Yes.
we thought, hey, why not go talk about more Godzilla?
Yeah, the second part of the Netflix Godzilla animated series dropped on Netflix, and
I have a confession to make.
what's up?
I don't know what the fuck was going on in this movie at any point in time.
I really like this a lot. Like, I like this way more than I like the first one. The first one is, the main character is very, very insufferable. He comes across just way too over the top.
The only
This
thing...
one, he's toned down a little bit. The only real big thing that kind of threw me for a loop happens towards the end, but we'll talk about that when we get there. For now, let's just focus on some of the overalls. For those who aren't in the know, this is a second and third run for movies produced by Netflix of Godzilla. I don't know where they fall in the Godzilla license or if they're their own thing. I'm pretty sure they are at this point.
Yes.
But they are produced by Netflix, produced and distributed by Netflix, released by Toho, and I honestly like this one a lot more than I did the first time around. Like, I didn't think I would enjoy a sequel to something like the first one. I really was off-put by it. And a lot of it hinges on your cast of characters.
Yeah. There was a lot of stuff in this one that just, I was like, what? Like, there was just...
Okay, well, you go ahead, because I seem to understand most of what was going on.
Well, it's like, there were people that there were actual other, well, they showed up in the end of the last one, there were more humans, but then later it's like, maybe they evolved from insects, and I was like, what?
Yeah, that didn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. It would have just been better if they had said, well, a strand of humanity adapted to the weather or to the climate after 20,000 years.
Yeah.
Very easily could have just explained that away and just been done with it, but instead they went for some really stupid explanation that I immediately discarded.
So, I think this one we're just going to do spoilers.
Are we just going to do spoilers? Alright.
Yeah, because it's on Netflix. If you want to see it, go watch it.
Yes.
It's
a little hard to recommend people pick up a Netflix pass.
I was about to say, you don't have to go to the theater, so this is something I'm not messed up about just talking about.
Alright, well, let's start at the beginning, because this picks up like right after the first one ends. When our lead protagonist, I forget his name, wakes up in the hut of one of the Mothra twins.
Yes.
I know it's not officially revealed, but they're these two demure little women who speak in unison in a very high-pitched, tranquil voice. They're the Mothra girls.
They have like a psychic thing too. See,
Stop kicking shit.
I didn't mean to. That's like why I was just, like I said,
I took that with a grain of salt, mostly because I take a lot of this stuff with a grain of salt.
I think what you took,
Godzilla.
I think with what you took with a grain of salt, I was just like, what the fuck? Am I high? Did I hear that right?
No, you're not high. I rolled with that because it is a holdover from older Godzilla, which is never explained there either, and it's even weirder because they're like an inch high, and it doesn't make any sense why they are.
Yeah.
So I was just like, fuck it, we'll roll with it. My biggest thing was they speak English. Or they speak Earth's language, as it's called, which, yeah, sure, you can get around that by saying it's English or it's Japanese, it's whatever the fuck you want them to speak.
I thought it was they heard, like, they sent the message and it just translated into English in their head.
I don't know, it might have been like that.
It's just one of, because, like,
no, you're right,
when they
actually one of the big guys said, no, they're talking in our tongue. So it was a mental projection as to what they're hearing. It just translates.
Like, the others...
That was why I was okay with it.
The others didn't really talk. Like, they just...
No, they...
And the girls, like, when they actually spoke like, English, they were just copying what everyone said. they couldn't say an actual sentence.
Right. No, yeah, that like I say, that's kind of something that was held over from the earlier Toho movies where they did shit like that. So I was like, all right, whatever, I'll roll.
And like when all this is going on in space, they're deciding whether they need to take the fuck off or not.
Yes, because they recalculate Godzilla's new power level breath.
And he apparently
he could
blast
shoot down the ship if he wanted. I don't know how he would know where to do that. Like, I think it would be pretty easy to move the ship if he decided to do so.
I was about to say, that's a ranged attack. Yeah, I would think, he fired a blast. Scoot over,
yeah, it would
2 miles that way.
It would be one of those Han Solo daring maneuvers from Episode 4 where he drifts lazily to the left. And that's all you have to do to avoid Godzilla at that point. Godzilla's down there on the planet. He's like, damn it! Boy, they're awesome like that. I better kill them now.
I mean, you couldn't even see that ship.
My biggest problem is it continues to be Godzilla in this. Because Godzilla doesn't operate by rules. He operates by Godzilla has to win. Which is a bit of a problem I had with Shin Godzilla, where they just invent more powers so Godzilla can win. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Most of the movie is spent with our main cast of characters, and initially I thought that was going to be a problem, because in the last movie they were all either one-dimensional cutouts that you knew nothing about, or it was your lead character who was so suicidally driven that it's like you could not function in society.
That's the one thing I will give this. The characters were a lot better.
Yes, they were much more toned back. Like, the lead character debated whether or not what he was doing was a good thing, and that was very, very impressive. It was like, oh, okay, that shows that he is actually questioning things.
And he is learning from his mistakes.
Yes, which is good, because that's something we didn't get in the first movie.
Yeah.
So I was really, really happy with that. I thought that was good.
The only thing that
it turns out I may have been right about those two characters we couldn't tell apart, because they use the exact same character model and they're just colored a little different, and one has a different hairstyle.
Yeah.
So I was really happy I was vindicated about that.
With like after they meet this tribe, like, and go. Like, they let them know, we're trying to kill Godzilla, we want to come back. And then they see that some of them have weapons made from metal.
Yes, which leads to the Metal Gear problem. Specifically Metal Gear 4, where the answer to everything is nanomachines.
Yeah, this is where I was like...
And I'm just like, you literally just committed one of the biggest problems that Metal Gear ever did, which is just like, nanomachines.
Well,
how did this happen? Nanomel.
Well, they then go to this base that is somehow operational after 20,000 fucking years.
Well, it's because the AI core from Mechagodzilla was still partially online. And so it kept building and building. It was performing its subroutine, which was build. And so it kept building and kept expanding, kept building, kept expanding. Until eventually it was a giant city-scale thing that could protect and insulate it.
But I'm supposed to believe that powered the entire city? Because
it didn't really electricity need to do too much.
Electricity wouldn't be a fucking thing at this point.
Well, no, but you could always just hand wave it away by saying it was powered by like a thermonuclear reactor that kept recharging because of all the radiation and shit that Godzilla exuded or something.
Yes, an explanation like that would have been nice.
It would have been, but again, it would have dug into their problem like they had in the last movie, where they tried to explain their hyperspace or wormhole maneuver, and they could never really get between the two. So I was much happier with them not explaining this than trying to give me some kind of really stupid explanation that I could look at and go, you really should have kept your mouth shut. So I'm happy that they really just kept their mouth shut here.
Yeah, and like when they actually go to this city, they're like, we can rebuild Mechagodzilla and take Godzilla down. And
yes.
But they don't do that.
No, they then come up... I like this, actually. They come up with a different plan, because initially I thought they were going to do just that, and it was going to be Godzilla punches Mechagodzilla, Mechagodzilla punches Godzilla, and then Godzilla just stomps a new asshole in Mechagodzilla and walks all over the humans again.
That's their movie.
Instead, they come up with a new plan. which I thought was a really good idea. They instead use the nanometal to forge defenses around Mechagodzilla City and create an idea to lure him into an area and then stop him in different ways, which I was like, all right, that's a really good idea. Think outside the box.
Yeah.
Instead of just reconstruct something that isn't going to work, because, like I say, they were working on a scale from the original Godzilla, which is no longer a viable plan.
Yeah.
You have to think bigger. So, okay, different plan. I like this idea.
Didn't they develop... Ravens? Was that what they were called?
Maybe they have these mech suits that they walk around in, and they upgrade them from there, which I thought, again, really good idea.
Yeah, like they took part of that, like they took that design and then like part of Mechagodzilla's design
and merged the two, and they were like, oh, okay, well we can do this, and that creates a different kind of thing we can use. So again, it was thinking outside the box and using what they had to create something better, rather than just going, we'll do exactly what we were planning on doing before, despite the fact that it has absolutely no chance of winning. Yes!
I think the third one, the whole city will just become Mechagodzilla.
Oh, the city's dead. But we get that, and they set up defenses, and they get everything ready, and Godzilla starts moving.
Yeah.
And things go wrong, because of course they go wrong.
Every time.
This is the part that leads me to my big complaint about this. Because they execute the plan. Godzilla walks through the trench like they intend for him to. They direct him. They shoot the little harpoon, EMP harpoons. I guess they had an electromagnetic pulse thing built into them.
Something like that.
Which, I don't know what the hell that's supposed to do, but they launched them into Godzilla, and that was supposed to hit something inside Godzilla, and then he would explode.
That didn't work.
Which, for some reason, does not work. And rather than actually have a good reason, it's just, oh, Godzilla is using all the energy in the area to redirect his own. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
How? Why? And it's just like, the only reason Godzilla isn't dead is because you need Godzilla later.
Yes.
And so you're inventing a reason for Godzilla to live. When in all actuality, this should be the end goal. This should be the final battle. They kill Godzilla, or they at least stop him. But instead, we have this whole build-up to everything working, but then it doesn't, for some reason. Which then leads to my second biggest problem, which is the heel turn that makes zero sense. There was no build-up. There was no actual motivation towards this. It's just, we need people to betray people because reasons.
And all of a sudden, we're gonna become metal people.
Yes, and the alien people who have merged with human society for thousands of years suddenly decide, no, if we combine with the city, we can stop him. Even though this doesn't make any sense.
And become immortal.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
it wasn't just the aliens, though. It was the humans. Too.
No, the humans didn't want to do that.
What?
Humans didn't want to do that. They were like, they were the most logical reaction of people, because they look at him and go, question, what the fuck are you talking about? And it really just rubbed me the wrong way on this, because I looked at this and tried, and I just could not understand it. Even when the plan's gone to shit, and they keep saying, well, don't worry, if we have the Ravens drop down and pierce him on a suicide run, it'll work perfectly. And they're like, well, the cockpit can't survive that. And they're like, don't worry, we're going to transform you into metal people against your will. Even though we said we wouldn't do that, and this plan makes no sense to turn you into metal people when you can just abandon the cockpit and, like, parachute down somewhere. I'm sure we could just, set the controls to move forward, like automation, like we said we would.
Nope.
No, you must join the Metal Men as we kill Godzilla. But it won't work. It never works, because Godzilla needs to live. Because that's the only reason.
I have a feeling one of those guys is gonna, like, transform into, or they're all gonna come together and, like, metal people morph into Mechagodzilla.
They're going to be like the worst version of Voltron ever.
Pretty much.
And I'll form the thinky thing. That! The one thing I don't use!
Even worse than vehicle transport, like, even worse than the vehicle Voltron, it's going to be awful.
It's going to be awful. It did, however, offer a bit of a side note for the main character, because he does have the crisis of conscience. Do you sacrifice your humanity to destroy that thing that you hate? But then his not related girlfriend, I don't know where they fall in that, but the kiss, but she calls the one guy's old grandpa, she calls him Grandpa too.
I think that's just what everyone called him.
I guess, I hope, because otherwise he's smooching his sister, and we're getting into a weird area there. So,
hey man, you spend 20,000 years in space.
I don't think I'm going to be that lonely. But he starts to form a relationship with her, and I'll give the VO actress credit on this. She sold that serious sense of pain. Because she starts screaming, and I'm just like, oh God, please make it stop. That sounds awful. I don't want to be metal. I don't want them to be metal.
And the guy over the comms, just accept it. It'll hurt less.
Yeah, that wasn't rapey at all. God, that's Japan in a nutshell right there. Creepy old men whispering to women, don't react, it'll hurt less. Just accept it. But we go from there, and he decides he's not going to sacrifice being human in order to kill Godzilla. It doesn't work out that way in the end. So he ends up destroying Mechagodzilla City's main brain area.
Yep.
While Godzilla continues to melt the area around him and blast shit apart. And then she dies?
Yep.
Presumably?
And he's like, no! Like he does that classic.
We get the classic no scene.
And then it's, boom, cut to credits. And then there was a credit
it re-explores a scene where he was talking with his old friend who became the priest.
Yeah.
Who whispers something in his ear about there being some kind of a greater evil out there that would make Godzilla look like a pansy. And it's revealed that it's Ghidorah.
It's like, what?
I'm really sold for episode 3 at this point. Episode 2 has problems, but I think they are more overshadowed by what good came out of this, because this really did not have to be good. Like, it just had to be a midway in between thing that just got you to the next beat of the story, and that would have been it. I think they really should have had the characters break down, and in this, he becomes completely and totally psycho gung-ho against Godzilla. Like, they've done this in reverse. So, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do for the third one, but I'm actually kind of interested to what they try to do, because
I'm just wondering how they're going to get Ghidorah, like, to Earth if he's
I'm now more
on
interested,
another planet in space.
I am now more interested in what they are going to do in order to stop Godzilla.
Jet Jaguar.
It's going to be Jet Jaguar. Oh God, that's what it's going to be. They're all going to come out of the Mechagodzilla City, and they're going to have that stupid psycho grin on their face. And they're going to go, ha! Ha! I will stop you, Godzilla!
And look like a really shitty version of Ultraman.
Watch me fly!
That's all Jet Jaguar was. He was a really bad version of Ultraman.
Yeah, he was. All in all, I really actually like this a lot. I thought this was a vast improvement over the first movie. It had a few missteps, like I say, with the character who just, his heel turn comes out of nowhere. It really doesn't further the story and only proceeds to add more conflict to what should already be a tense situation. But
I think maybe I need to go rewatch it.
I think you should, because
I rewatched it. I watched it when I was tired, so that's when I was just like,
yeah. I watched this, and I like that they toned the main character back a lot.
I did
that
notice
was
that.
a really good thing. I like that they gave more screen time to the other characters and kind of fleshed them out a little bit more.
Yeah.
And yeah, outside of Godzilla just surviving because Godzilla needs to survive, and the heel turn that makes no sense, I thought this was great.
Also, something I do remember and did enjoy, that everybody, like, not everybody was on board and for this plan, and like some of them were like, "No, fuck this. We're getting out of Dodge and like go back to space."
Yeah, well, they needed somebody to go back.
Let's go to the moon.
Yeah, they send some people back because they give them the options. Like, look, this is gonna sound insane, and I won't blame you if you want to leave. But we're gonna try and attack Godzilla again. If you want to leave, now's the time. And they're like, all right, I'm out. Bye.
We're getting the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah, and they report back, and then it's like, main character. I still don't remember his name, but anyway, Godzilla Part 2. It was pretty darn good.
Better than the first one.
Yeah.
That seems to be Netflix's thing.
Oh, God.
That's like Netflix's thing with like some of their shit. Like, they have pacing problems.
They do. They do. I thought they did a much better job this time, and hopefully they continue to do so when they make number 3, and it actually looks good. Or it actually is good, I should say. Because we don't know.
Nope.
We just know we're going to get Ghidorah.
Yep.
Presumably.
I think Mechagodzilla is actually supposed to make an appearance, too.
I don't know.
Alright, guys. Well, this was a quicker one.
It was quicker.
Well, let us know what you think.
Down below in that little comment section.
Are you more old school Godzilla fan? Did you like this? Like, it's a lot better than any other animated Godzilla there's ever been. So, and then be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And we're on Facebook. Go check us out over there, Ninja Mafia Entertainment. Then you can hop over and go watch Sean's channel, Sean the Game Reviewer.
I review games and sometimes do Let's Plays. Maybe scaling back on those, so.
Alright, guys. Well, until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that this movie was better than the Godzilla animated series that followed Godzilla in 1998 with the ever-classic Matthew Broderick?
Don't fucking talk about that series.
Or Godzilla Jr.?
I'll see you next time, guys. Bye. We'll see you later.
Try and offer an opinion, jeez.
No. Later.